This is Mike with Granite Grok. We're here at the State House Plaza. You see some candles off in the distance as the crowd gradually thins out. We've heard from Lou Milanese and Paul Horvath. This is Patrick Murphy from New Boston. Is that how I get it right?
Yes, you do.
I do. And he's also attracted to this cause of keeping the story of Benghazi alive and demanding answers. So tell us, how did you get hooked up with this, Pat?
Well, I simply got a call from Lou, and I have been interested in this as it's a huge issue that these four men not be forgotten. These four fellows that fought so valiantly, so courageously, that they not simply disappear into the historical dustbin. It's a very, very big issue, and I think the families, I think the nation is crying out for answers. We'd like to see truth, and we'd like to see justice on the issue.
Well, and I think we all would. And, you know, the more we hear about the story, the worse it seems to get. There's always a little more to it, and it doesn't reflect honorably on the administration.
Well, we think there are an awful lot of scandals coming down the pipe right now. We seem to be inundated in that, and they are very important. They're very, very big. But a lot of us feel the Benghazi issue is a primary issue. It really goes to the heart of things, the value of our people, their lives, our military people, and the idea that you never abandon anybody at all in combat or defending the nation in any form. You can't do that.
No. Well, you know, there was a great demoralization of the American armed forces after Vietnam because the war was very badly handled by the government. And I'm afraid we're beginning to see the same thing. Afghanistan's being badly handled. These incidents, dare I call them that, are being very badly handled, if they weren't initially fomented by the administration, which we can't prove yet, but there are stories about it. So
I would agree with you.
What they've done to the Secret Service, what they've done to the armed forces, what they've done to the command chains, that would demoralize any army. And that's not what you want to do if you're in the business of defending the United States.
I think you're in a situation in the nation where you're watching a wholesale demoralization of the entire population on multiple issues. Everything from an artificial constriction of the economy and the loss of opportunity, the loss of jobs, the loss of freedom, personal liberties, the attacks on moral conscience. It seems as though there are multiple aspects and angles in a society under which people are almost being attacked, it seems.
Yeah, and I think American values, American morals, and especially American conservatives are under attack. But the demoralization of the armed forces, the word treason has been used around here in terms of the way the command chain was derelict in its duties. But the treatment of the armed forces, I think, is absolutely scurrilous.
I think we're losing a lot of key people that are traditionalists and are men of honor, and they seem to be losing them at a very, very rapid pace.
Well, that worries me from a different point of view. Are they pushing out people of principle deliberately so they'll have malleable people of no principles if they ever want to use the armed forces domestically?
A bloodless purge.
Yeah.
A lot of people have said that. Look at General Mattis and the Marine Corps, and simply getting a phone call that we need you to vacate your office, and months ahead of his retirement, and there was somebody who was a backbone of the Marine Corps, and a very traditional guy, and somebody with enormous respect for the Constitution, for the history of the nation, for the American people, and for the protection of the American people. I agree with you. A lot of it is very disconcerting.
Right. I mean, there might be innocent explanations for this, but there's too close together, and that leads to the real concern amongst the people that, in fact, it's a deliberate path of action to destabilize the country and to undermine the Constitution and anybody who respects it.
Well, if we look at the foreign policy of the nation, we've never seen anything where there's so many multiple confusions on a daily basis about who the enemy is fighting against, who the enemy is cooperating with, in what country, how the military activity is occurring, outside of the Congress. The Congress has no action. You're calling wars kinetic activities or kinetic actions, and Congress has almost become ceremonial on what is a key issue, and that is going to war against sovereign nation states.
Congress has made this situation for themselves, and they have to work very hard to unmake it. They've made themselves irrelevant by not wanting to have their names on the nasty little regulations that go along with the law, so they've said things like the Secretary shall determine. They've abdicated war-making responsibilities to the President, and they've deferred so much power to so many places that, as you're right, Congress has become a ceremonial place where you go to get rich and don't do much else.
Well, Bishop Fulton Sheen had a saying in the 1950s, and that was that the American people are largely unconscious. And I think that a lot of the problems that you have today stem from the fact that the American public is largely detached from a deep knowledge of their own history, the organic institutions, and have lost or don't have any knowledge of other countries and the processes through which those countries have lost the limited freedoms that they had. It's a primary problem, but we can't seem to get people animated enough to realize the dire situation that we're in, or even the gravity of attending a meeting such as this that involves such major earth-shaking issues.
You're right. Well, thank you so much, Pat. Thank you for keeping the flame alive in your town and statewide. And let's have more people to the next one.
Good talking to you.
Good talking to you.
GrokTV.